When people ask themselves, how did we get here? How did we go from a country we recognize to one we don't? It's really important to explain that there's a trick to things. I have an example for you. Here is one of our American plugs. Now, if you've spent much time on the internet, you know these things are insane, and no sane country would develop such a thing, which explains why we did. How does a blind person plug one of these things in without electrocuting themselves? The trick is this third pin right there, the big round one. You put your finger on that pin, and you find the hole where this one goes, because this one will not electrocute you. Put your finger on that hole, and then you guide it in. That's how it works. It's that simple. Once you know the trick, it's easy. So how did we get here? Once you know the trick, it's easy. Somehow, and I gotta say, people on the left, you're a little responsible for this one. Somehow, they managed to get us all into two completely separate realities. Some of us are paying attention to things like Fox News, Newsmax, Breitbart, the right-wing bubble. Some of us are paying attention to the Daily Beast, CNN, Huffington Post, stuff like that. Honestly, I know a lot fewer of the ones on the left off the top of my head because I didn't spend the past 2 decades paying attention to those. But they're there. And if they get you to think about two completely different looks at reality, that's the first step. Because now they can tell you two different things. And what they've been telling the people on the right is, well, I've begun to learn it ain't true. Okay, begun. We've been at this for a while. It ain't true. You'll never convince them of that, because that's the next thing. People saw a country that was not listening to them, not respecting their viewpoint, not respecting the things that they wanted. Quiet, you in the back row. I hear you. Yeah, they shouldn't want those things, and they shouldn't get them. No, I'm talking about, like, having the same laws apply to everybody the same way. Yes, again, I hear you in the back row. No law seems to apply to Trump. I get it. But they started hearing, especially if they were watching things like Fox News, oh, these people, these minority people, they don't have to have the same laws we do. How long do you think it takes them to find some examples about that, especially when all they need is a few anecdotes? How long do you think it takes them? Yeah, I could find just as many examples of white people with affluenza. But the fact is, it doesn't take long if all you've got to do is cherry pick a few examples. And then you have some guy come out saying, I'm gonna restore sanity, normality. And somehow, people believed it, even though it was coming from Donald Trump. Yeah, I know. But if you think about it, Donald Trump's entire brand is a fiction that he's made people believe. Oh, he's a successful businessman running The Apprentice. No, he wasn't. All you have to do is read his book. That book he wrote. He didn't write it. that book he wrote about how he was such a brilliant businessman to open up casinos in Atlantic City, where that dog that was out here playing a bit ago could open up a casino and be successful. Nope. His were all torn down. 3 of them. He didn't manage to run 1 casino into the ground, he ran 3. Successful businessman, he ain't. But it doesn't matter, because if you can manage to make people think it's true, what does it matter if it's not? And that's what he did. He convinced people that he knew how to fix things, and you definitely want a businessman running the country. They might want a smart businessman running the country. Unfortunately, we have Donald Trump. So, yeah. So you convince people that they need to vote for the guy that is going to fix things, is going to make it all right. The populists. I've got the coffee. When do I get the weird microphone that I'm using in a way that isn't supposed to be used? Does that come with your first 100 subscribers or what? Anyway, they convince people to vote for this guy, to follow this guy, and he says stuff like, oh, we're gonna win so much, you're gonna be tired of winning. He said that. I know, I was there. And people start listening, they start believing it, and they start supporting it. And then you have, I'd say it's like a cult of personality to develop, but it's not like a cult of personality. It is a cult. And that's why, if you want to free at least the diehards from this, you're going to have to deprogram them, because they're in a cult. I don't know if we have time to do that. It's going to be a rude awakening, and I don't think some of them are ever going to believe what happened is what they say. Because, I mean, the next thing is you turn up the temperature. You make the lies even more. I went down a couple of days ago to film what was going on during the day, yes, because I go to bed about 8 p.m. and I'm awake about 3:30, 4. And I wasn't creeping down there at 4 in the morning. It's just not going to happen. Besides, then they would say, oh, you know, all the stuff that happened, all the violence that happened between 8 p.m. and 2:30 a.m. And if you got out there at 3:30 or 4, you missed it all. Really? It's so bad that you have to send in the military, but only between the hours of 8 p.m. and 2:30 a.m. And by 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., it's all magically gone. Them fires and whatnot. Yeah, I already did another video. It was depressing. Oh, I just cannot talk this morning. I did another video where I talked about why I did it, so I'm not going to belabor the point. If you need the Cliff's Notes version or the Joseph's Notes version, you can't hide fires and bodies in a few hours. So if these things are happening at night, they can't be gone by the next morning, or the next midday, or the next 3 p.m., whenever it was I shot that. You can't do it. So, it's not there. The thing is, though, it doesn't have to be there, as long as they can tell you it's there. Because what they've been doing is they've been cutting footage of the 2020 riots with a few protest signs from 2024 about ICE and saying, see, this is what's going on. And if people don't look terribly closely, especially when you can say, prove it's not happening, it's hard to prove what's not happening. Because no matter what I shot, and by the way, I've got asthma. I'm not going out there while they're shooting pepper balls and rubber bullets at people. I'm just not doing that. They'll always come up with some, oh, you didn't show this. There's not that much to see. But you don't have to, it doesn't have to be what is, it just has to be what you can convince people it is. And now they've done that, and it doesn't matter. The truth doesn't matter. It's a simple trick once you think about it. But the simple trick works, because people don't ask questions. If you're watching this video, I'm encouraging you to ask a lot of questions. Because almost certainly there will be rioting down there sooner or later. If for no other reason than they are looking to cause it. They said the military is coming in. The military weren't there, but they're coming anytime now. Trump said they were already out there. It shows how little he actually knows what's going on. But they will be, eventually. And they're already trying to, just unprovoked, they shot CS gas canisters at an 86-year-old woman and her 2 kids. Did they need to do that? No, they wanted to do that. The whole point of doing that was trying to see if they could raise the temperature a bit, see if they could make things a little hotter. Because if it starts down here, and it moves up, and then it moves up, and then eventually it pops off. A couple nights ago, 2 nights ago, they arrested 3 people, charged 2 of them with disorderly conduct. And oh my God, the White House got involved because one of them was a conservative. I'm going to go ahead and call him a journalist. I'll give him credit for that. He's a journalist. I'm not going to say he's an unbiased journalist. He's not. But I don't know what an unbiased journalist looks like anymore. I can't even say it's me. I'm no journalist. I'm a guy I'm a guy yelling at the clouds. No. I don't know what an unbiased journalist looks like. So yeah, I'll give that he's a journalist. He went out there to get a particular story, and he ended up scuffling with some people. And the 3 people who were scuffling got arrested, and 2 of them got charged. I don't even know if he was one of the 2 that got charged. Now there's going to be an investigation, because Trump always investigates and charges and sues anybody he wants to bully, because that's all he is. Donald Trump is a bully, a coward. He's Vladimir Putin's little bitch. Even now, he's still trying to. Anyway, that's a separate topic. Maybe I'll cover it at some point. But my point was just think about how they're doing it, what they're doing, and how. Watch the hand they don't want you to be looking at, because they say that's what you do. You people on the left do that. I've been saying that for a very long time. Watch the hand that isn't, you know, the only reason why they know that that's what's going on is because they're doing the same damn thing. Only, instead of doing some funny business with campaign finance stuff, they are currently trying to conquer the United States for the glory of Father Dementia Donnie. Don't fall for it. Watch the hand that they're not directing your attention to. Follow the money. Pay attention to Peter Thiel is. If you don't know who Peter Thiel is, figure the fuck out who Peter Thiel is. Because he's the money behind J.D. Vance. Oh, he put plenty into Donald Trump's hands, but he's really behind J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is his project. If you've been watching South Park, I think that's where they're going with that. We'll see. But locking in my prediction now. Anyway, I don't need this to be another 20-minute rant. I tried to make this one at least a little funnier than the last one, because the last one was damn depressing. I was tired. I came out here to the park. I shot my video. It was coherent. It was full of fuck. The fucks per minute count were very high in that video. And then I went home. And then I realized I didn't push the record button. I am going to fire my camera guy as soon as I see a mirror. Seriously, though. Came back out here and I was all over the place, not terribly coherent. I saw the video. I sound tired. I look tired. It's much earlier now. It's, you know, not even 9 a.m. yet. Ever hear of a muffler? Jeez. Anyway, yeah, that's what I removed to get this neat sound. Take care, everyone. Bleh. See, this is the thing. I don't edit my videos, so you get to see me screw up and get distracted and stop paying attention to the camera because I'm watching the puppy playing or whatever's going on. Anyway, take good care of each other. This is Joseph. Peace.